Thank you so much for that, Kim. We have some cold air now settling in across southern Ontario. Also some lake effect out there as well. But let's deal with the cold first. Over Lake Huron, in some cases, is producing some lake effect snow. More on that in a moment. First, though, let's go outside and check in with Kevin Yard. We're all becoming numb, I think, to the cold, right? But we haven't had that much cold, though, as of late. Thank you so much for that, Kevin. Some lake effect, as I mentioned here. So some localized areas here down toward Goderich, Bayfield, Lucan, maybe north and west of London. So in terms of this afternoon, yeah, it stays cold. It's going to be a little bit breezy, but there's not that much in the way of weather until the next system comes in. And that one will bring us yet some more snowfall. This more so Saturday. 5 to 10 centimeters of snow. In the GTA proper, though, it's more in the range of 2 to 5 centimeters. Saturday tends to be less traveled, so that's a good thing, I guess, in timing. Yeah, armed and dangerous indeed. Thank you so much for that, Emily. We have a lot of things going on this weekend. We have Valentine's Day. We've got preparing for Family Day in Ontario. So what about the weather? I'll tell you more about that in a moment. First, though, some ideas on what you can do, and we're going to head out to Blue Mountain with Kevin Forget. All right, thanks so much for that, Kevin. So no shortage of things to do, but keep in mind it's going to be cold doing it. So we have extreme cold warnings in place. At least that's the case for now. And really the coldest air of the season is on its way. It looks like overnight Saturday, so Valentine's night and into Sunday, will be the coldest spell. We're talking could be even wind chills in the minus 40s across southern Ontario. That's pretty unusual. We have some snowfall, Ottawa and Montreal, just some scattered flurries today. And then the next low pressure system comes in for Saturday. So today, tomorrow, pretty good. Here comes the next low, and we will see on Saturday between 5 and 10 centimeters in some cases across the south. Thank you so much for that, Jacqueline. Great explanation. And we do have some very cold air on the way. In fact, we already have some extreme cold warnings posted for portions of southern Ontario tonight, and there are indications that by Sunday morning we're talking values in the minus 40s for southern Ontario. Let's go outside right now and check in with Kevin Yard. Thank you, Kevin. And some additional snowfall expected between now and tomorrow. Ottawa, another less than 2 centimeters, but Montreal and Sherbrooke, say 2 to 5 centimeters. Where there's also going to be 2 to 5 centimeters is with lake effect here on the shoreline of Lake Huron and slightly inland, maybe north and west of London toward Lucan in that snowfall. But suffice to say that around Toronto and Hamilton, we've got the cold. Temperatures feeling like in the minus 20s as early as today. And then on Saturday, we get some snowfall to come through. 5 to 10 centimeters in some of the darker blue shaded areas here through Midwestern Ontario. Look at the blowing snow. The winds will be very, very strong Saturday night and into Sunday. And that's the period where we can expect the wind chills to be likely in the minus 40s. The extreme cold is going to be with us for a few days. By Sunday morning, we could be dealing with wind chills in the minus 40s, which would take us into the coldest spell of air we've seen so far this winter, with this cold right through to the weekend. And one person who's already braving the cold is Kevin Yard outside. And Kevin, so long as people are dressed appropriately, there's no reason why not to head outside, as long as you take breaks and you get indoors to warm yourself up. But here's Kevin Forget right now with some ideas on how you can take advantage of what winter has to offer. Thanks so much for that, Kevin. You have some really great events going on. We have very cold temperatures, yes, and also we do have some snow on the way. We're talking about, say, between 5 and 10 centimeters of snowfall. So let's take a look at our short-term forecast. Boy, it's dangerous, down to wind chills in the minus 30s. We have some snow today, lake effect through the Lake Huron shorelines here down toward London. It's possible that some of this may cross over the 401 just in that little spell here west of London. Have to watch for that. Ottawa, a little bit of snow, but Montreal, 2 to 5 centimeters. Sherbrooke, Quebec, and the eastern townships too. And on Saturday, there is another system coming in. It's a clipper, so tend to be fast movers. We're looking at between 5 and 10 centimeters of snow on Saturday. Thankfully, though, on Saturday, the roads tend to be less traveled, but still, we've got a lot of people out running errands, trying to get their kids to hockey, that sort of thing. Thank you so much for that, Chrissy. We have had some very up and down temperatures. This freeze-thaw cycle is not necessarily a good thing when it comes to water main breaks, and we've seen a number of them. Some lake effect, although I don't think it's going to be in the Clinton area. It's going to be more so down toward north and west of London and up towards, say, Bayfield, Goderich, and in this area down toward Grand Bend. But now the problem really is about the extreme cold. We're talking values here in the minus 30s, minus 40s for the early start of Sunday. That's going to be probably the worst of the cold air. But right now, a little bit of lake effect and also some remnant snow through Montreal and the eastern townships, and then south into upstate New York with the snowfall 2 to 5 centimeters as our system departs. But we've got another one on the way. And that on Saturday is going to bring us between 5 and 10 centimeters of snow, although through the GTA, maybe a little bit less. Watch the blowing snow icons here. There could be reduced visibility with that. Thank you, Kevin. And did you say parka? Because you're going to need it. This is really, really cold, extremely cold and dangerous in southern Ontario, parts of southern Quebec as well. We're talking between now and Sunday morning, likely to be the coldest spell of it. The wind chills could be in the minus 40s across the south. Thank you so much for that, Jacqueline. Great explanation. And we do have some very cold air on the way. In fact, we already have some extreme cold warnings posted for portions of southern Ontario. Now, the temperatures are going to be feeling like in the for the overnight, and there are indications that by Sunday morning, we're talking values in the minus 40s for southern Ontario. Let's go outside right now and check in with Kevin Yard. Thank you, Kevin. And some additional snowfall expected between now and tomorrow. Ottawa, another less than 2 centimeters, but Montreal and Sherbrooke, say 2 to 5 centimeters. Where there's also going to be 2 to 5 centimeters is with lake effect here on the shoreline of Lake Huron and slightly inland, maybe north and west of London toward Lucan, and then in that snowfall. But suffice to say that around Toronto and Hamilton, we've got the cold. Temperatures feeling like in the minus 20s as early as today. And then on Saturday, we get some snowfall to come through. 5 to 10 centimeters in some of the darker blue shaded areas here through midwestern Ontario. Look at the blowing snow. The winds will be very, very strong Saturday night and into Sunday. And that's the period where we can expect the wind chills to be likely in the minus 40s.